wallet is sobbing. I can hear it. I can hear it in the hall now. It is breaking down, crying.
It turns out that Attila, the arrogant so-and-so, he's got a fake hammer.
Oh, a fake?
Yeah.
Whoa. As I say, dick.
Welcome to episode 96 of the Your Allegiance podcast. The one before Christmas. I think we call this one.
That's the one.
And this week we're going to look back at our predictions from episode 47, which was the first one we did in 2024. So when I got through all the pimping of our Patreon we did in that episode, I found that we did some predictions in the last 30 minutes of it. So if you're going back to listen to that, but I have plenty of clips here tonight that we're going to play, and we're going to go through. I had to obviously listen to them so I know what they say. The boys kind of have forgotten. That's a year ago. I mean, you guys are old, so
Absolutely
no
zero
clue what I
memory.
said.
I forgot what I said last week on the podcast. A year ago, no chance.
Yeah, as long as it's not libelous, you're fine. You don't need to remember.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, just remember, just allegedly, for everything. Allegedly.
Yeah, that doesn't even work. You know, I know people do that, but it doesn't work. It works in America mostly, but it doesn't work in Britain because of the libel laws there. It really doesn't work to just say allegedly. Otherwise, radio stations would be saying a lot more than they could about certain things.
You need to become an MP. That's what you need to do in the UK. You can say whatever you like in the House of Commons, and it's completely safe. So, yeah.
Anyway, so I've been sick as a small hospital all week, so that's been fun. Just kind of head cold and everything, and so if I sound like bullshit, it's just because I sound like bullshit, so don't worry about it. Getting back there though, the kids were the same. All of us actually were. But it wasn't bad enough that I think the kids had to stay home one day from school, and it was really just because they were coughing too much. But it wasn't so bad that, everyone was wiped out, but everyone was just hacking. It was like everyone had taken up smoking or something. It was,
That sounds like my worst nightmare. I'm not good at people coughing.
Yeah.
It winds me up, even when it's my own family.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So this was
a house full of people coughing.
Kind of hacky, hard cough. And so hopefully it gets better in the evening. And then, I think when you sleep in at night, then it kind of goes back to kind of everything settles down to being coughed out again the next morning. So fun. But the happy part of the week is that we get to do this podcast, and so we're well enough for that. So, anything else going out, you guys?
I had my Christmas present from my mum to me, which obviously I ordered because I know what I want. Arrived from China yesterday. I was in the office. I messaged my wife going, have those things been delivered? She's like, yeah. She's like, hopefully they were like Lego type things. Otherwise, they're smashed to bits in the box because it's just rattling away.
Are those
and luckily they were Lego type things. So no, it was some more of the Blockies Transformers.
Blockies.
Oh, cool.
I liked it so much. I bought 2 cases. Oh, nice one, Mal.
I got the
substantial.
I meant to message you and then forgot. I got the Transformers 1 box.
Just put them up there for us there again, so you have a proper look at them.
So this is from Transformers 1, Orion Pax.
Wow, they're cool.
D16 with cog, as is described in the. I'll let Rich explain what they are a bit, but they're so fun, so relaxing.
They're brilliant, aren't they? They're basically like a slightly more complex Legos. They're 3.5, 4 inches tall, Mal? Something like that, maybe?
Yeah. Unless massive is very big.
Massive, yeah.
Yeah, well, 10 inches, as we tell people. But yeah, they come just in baggies, and you have to connect the joints and everything, sort of thing. But it's really simple to do, and they're just really cool looking little Transformers. So I got Inferno a few weeks ago and was showing you guys, and then was so impressed that I've now ordered 2 more series worth of them. So
nice.
Super.
It'll be a very Merry Christmas for me.
Well, Blockies, I've seen they also do. They're doing a bunch of
slope
stuff. They've recently announced Sesame Street.
No.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
I'm not too worried about them, but they do look good. Yeah. They've announced they already did Masked Rider, which I'm not that fussed by, but they look kind of cool still. and they do. I don't know what it's from. Something. I forget what the actual name of the series is called, but it's things like the Monkey King and all sort of magical creatures, and they've got like little robot suits in that one. That's so tempting.
Oh my God.
I've not seen that. That sounds good.
No,
yeah, I'll find them on
Sesame
Big.
Street could be a very slippery slope for me personally.
They look really.
What did they have? They had Big Bird, Oscar, the Cookie Monster,
Elmo.
All the big hitters.
Might have been Elmo. Yeah, could have been.
But yeah.
Right.
But yeah, very.
I think it was Oscar. Maybe I was thinking of Elmo rather than Oscar the Grouch. I might be thinking of Elmo.
So don't send me
maybe
the
it
link.
was Bert or Ernie.
Don't send me the link to those, please. Yeah, that would
They've also got
much appreciated.
They've also got the Marvel license now as well. So there's a Marvel series on the way.
It was a bit Iron Man heavy for me though.
It was. Well, that's because they're sort of just chunky and blocky, aren't they? So for Transformers, it worked perfectly. For Iron Man, they work great, but for other stuff, not necessarily.
To be honest, one of the reasons I picked them up is my mate, who is a Transformers fan, had picked a few up, and I was having a mess with them, and they balance so well and pose
ridiculously
so well for what they are that I thought I might do a little bit of outdoor photography with them. Not
that would be cool,
dirty or messy. Yeah. So might do a bit of that, have a bit of fun with that. In
urban,
the new year, obviously.
You don't need to go to a forest with them. Then you can go.
Well, I live near one of the largest parks in Europe, in Sutton Park. So
there you go. You can do it there.
Yeah.
Well, Rich, I'm just going to make myself big here. I got a little delivery this week that you might be interested in. I'm just going to push my microphone away there so you can see. Look at that. That's beautiful.
That is incredible. Look at the quality of the art.
Really good, doesn't it?
Actually, so I got them from our Redbubble store, and the quality is really good. Impressed. Kind of same type of t-shirts you got at Legion's Con. Print is really good. It's kind of into the material, and it comes out very well. The text and everything is beautifully done. So I'm very happy with that. So we'll be sporting it throughout the year, and of course next year at Legion's Con.
That's amazing. For listeners, that's the new the Art of Richard Jones Redbubble page we have with Hagnon, Mephitor, and Malleus. Together.
And that's t-shirts that I got from there in green with the logo. So it's awesome. So if you're looking for t-shirts in different, I also got one of our kind of wallet logo ones in purple, just to make the purple gang get jealous. Yeah, and to blend in my background here. So, and again, the print was really nicely done on it. So quite happy with that, and delivered pretty quickly. So
I shared that link with my work team today. There was just lots of laugh emojis and this sort of stuff, and just like, what the?
Where's the sales guys? Come on.
Yeah, but then they were so impressed.
Buy you a shower curtain for Christmas or something in the Kris Kringle.
They were so impressed that they've asked me to. We got a Christmas themed quiz next week as part of our end of year team meeting sort of thing, and they've asked me to draw Christmas representations of Christmas movies.
Super.
So I have 4 done already. I've embraced it. I took one through to show my wife and child earlier, and they just had looks of utter horror on their face. And my wife was like, "What the hell is that?" And she got it eventually, but initially she was just like, "No."
So that's exactly bog standard for your art. It's like, what the hell is that?
Basically,
but you guess it in the end.
And then it turns out to be genius.
Yeah, and then every time you look at it, you can't unsee it. It's
exactly.
It is actually kind of an artistic process now. I'm understanding here. I think Curtis has opened my eyes here. Curtis bought a duvet cover or a comforter, I think they call them in America.
He did
for himself and
God bless you, Curtis.
So Curtis, you are the best. You know that already. I have a very special transition this week for when we go into the predictions section. There will be a very special transition. One of those that we've been doing, and Curtis, I'm sure you will, if you manage to get through that without crying, laughing, or crying. I'll be impressed.
I don't want to sound big-headed here, but I am genuinely excited about the fact of Curtis wrapping himself up in my art. It's
well, I can't wait for all the selfies you're going to get from it.
Oh no! Oh no!
You're going to have to open a separate chat on Messenger, just for that stuff, so me and Mal can step out. if you don't mind.
No, Mal, I'm going to include Mal in every single chat I'm in about my art because he loves it.
Yeah.
Just tagging in Mal here to help with the explanation.
The world's gone mad.
Yeah, well, come on. Somebody was selling a banana taped to a wall for 10 million or whatever it was the other day. So, I mean, Rich's art is
and the guy
way above that.
Did you see what happened to that? The guy that bought it then ate the banana.
Ate the banana. But they just come with instructions on how to replace the banana. So, you know. But when it was on display in Korea, some school student apparently came and just took the banana and ate it as well. And he got, I think he got some sort of a fine or whatever. Fair enough. But I kind of don't blame him. And when he was asked what he did, he said, I was hungry. It wasn't like some sort of a protest or, you know, it was just like, oh, I'm hungry. I was a banana.
Yeah. I missed free banana over there.
Yeah, didn't have my cereal this morning. Didn't have my cornflakes. So, anyway, should we get on to a little bit of normal proceedings? So we got this week, the reveal of the Graveyard Skeletons box art, which is going to be in black and white as well, which I think is very appropriate because the Graveyard Skeletons are in that scheme. So I'll just read a little bit of the blurb. So Jeremy says, when we first solicited this special set, that it would we said that it would come in seasonal packaging, and the artwork is done by Tom Tallman. Tom has been working with Nate and the studio on some packaging art lately, and he absolutely killed this latest project. In addition to look at the sets package, we are also excited to announce that we are a bit ahead of schedule on this one, so this is even better news than the packaging, which was cool in itself. We thought they would ship initially in Q2 2025, so that would have been April to June, but now they're going to be in late Q1, so March, and into fans' hands. So I'm guessing the retailers will probably get them a little bit before that. So I imagine the street date will be sometime in late March for those, so very exciting. And yeah, the last bit is, you know, get them now from your retailers before they sell out. Because retailers would have probably ordered a little bit of overstock, but if they're going to come quite quickly, those could start disappearing. I've already seen one or two of the European retailers that the stock has disappeared, and one or two of the others, the price has kind of crept up a little bit from the normal. So there's been like a 10 bucks or whatever, 10 euros put on the price. So meaning that they're probably at the end of their stock as well. So
yeah. As I said to you boys, I coincidentally ordered my set at the weekend before this announcement came out, but I'm glad I did.
Happy accident there, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they still available, I wonder, in UK?
Let me check for you now, John.
Do a service for the UK listeners. That would be good. You know.
Except by the time it might have sold out.
Yeah, that's true. It's a funny one because I mean, I've ordered two boxes, but I keep going, do I need more? Do I need more? And it's like, no. You ordered two, so one whole box
8
can
skeletons.
Basically be customs.
That's 8 skeletons, Mal. And of course, one you're probably going to keep in that wonderful package, knowing you.
No, not these. These are for builders, and well, one will be on the shelf with the
somebody
stuff
mentioned in one of the posts I saw about this that Lone Wolf Labs, you know, the Dio guys that we were beside the first year at LegionsCon, that some of their gravestones is used in the art, in the packaging art.
The art is so good, so good. I mean, the photography is going to be fantastic. It's Trevor, but the art is the black and white is perfect, isn't it?
It's perfect, yeah.
It is. Looks amazing, doesn't it?
It is really, isn't it?
Any update there for the UK listeners then, Rich? No?
Yes, they are in stock. So run and grab them quick while you can before Mal buys another 10 sets.
Good. And what's the retail price there in
it's £100.
His Majesty's pounds.
£100. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's about $125 or so at the moment.
And then last week we had a chat about maybe putting the Red Vampire head that came with the Cosmic 2-pack at LegionsCon on Red Death. And our friend Dylan sent us some pictures on Instagram.
AKA Wolfie.
Yeah, Legends Collector 1321 on Instagram. You won't find him under Wolfie. Oh, you might if you search Facebook. I don't know. Was Facebook down earlier on Instagram today? I noticed some.
Facebook was playing that for me whenever I tried to like something, it just refused.
Yeah. I heard there was
it
some
does that
issues.
for me all the time, but my mate's just messaged to ask if there's problem. He's having problems with Facebook. I'm like, oh, it's fine to me. So maybe there are.
It's going around the houses. So anyway, Dylan sent us these two awesome pictures that we have up here on the video version. So it is the redhead from the Cosmic 2-pack, which I think works. Yeah, you could definitely get away with it.
Yeah, I think the colours
too
is a
bright.
bit too different for me.
Yeah.
It's enough to stop me rushing out and buying
Yeah, I got you.
a red mask.
But it stylistically, it definitely works.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And then also
to paint the head to match.
the translucent redhead Mal from Vorgus.
I think that works better because
Yeah.
and I like
Blends
it like
better.
that. I think that's quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
When that picture first came up, I thought, why is he wearing wraparound sunglasses? And then I realised it was just a translucent effect. It's like, okay, that makes more sense.
I think you could get the other head to match the red better if you just a little bit of a darker red dry brush for any of the painters
Yeah.
there. You might get it close enough to it not mattering. The only problem is that you're basically the head is on the body and there's nothing in between, so it's not like you have pauldrons or something to kind of separate the reds. So you really have to probably be quite close in the match. But yeah, pretty cool and always awesome for people to like Dylan to send us stuff to help our ineptitude, or the fact
What I
that
did with that head.
oh, there we go. We have him on
That works well, Mal.
Yeah.
on Fisher Rice.
I put it on the Fisher Rice, so he's going to be one of the I forgot Adventure Squadron or the whatever they're called, the
Awesome.
whatever they're proper
Shadow
names.
Circle, is it, or something?
Shadow
like that?
Circle. That's it.
Yeah, our bulk order should be arriving soon. I haven't got them yet, so it'll be next week. And next week we're just to say we're going to do the best of 2024 episode. So I've sent some questions out to the Patreons if they want to answer what their favorites, so we can shout them out. And I'll do a public post as well with some that you can comment on, so on our Facebook.
And just to confirm, is when you say sent them out, how have you done that? Have you sent have you put them on?
through Patreon and through the Discord?
Through
So
Patreon.
both. So if you're on the Patreon or the Discord through Patreon, you should be able to see that post. A couple people have replied, so it's out there. And or the Eurolegions podcast at gmail.com if you want to just send in whatever you want there. Any ramblings, we'll definitely read them out. But yeah, I'll probably put some. So I put a couple.
Mal, you're not allowed. Yeah, Mal, you're not allowed to be all about my art and how much you dislike it. It's not allowed.
I put a couple of categories on the Patreon, but I'll probably just put like the top 5 for anyone public that wants to comment on it, and then we'll see if we can squeeze them in. We will definitely. Yeah. So.
And then the week after that episode, we won't give any details away, but there's a very special episode coming along.
Yeah, for a little Christmas theme, maybe.
Yeah.
You got the decorations up there, I see, Rich. I got my tinsel, which actually has been here all year, if anyone has been paying attention. I put it up last year.
Yeah, this room is quite modestly decorated. There's a couple of sets of baubles hanging up and the Happy Christmas. It's the other rooms that are really properly festooned with stuff.
You got the tree and all. We haven't got the tree yet.
Yes, we put the tree up without decorations on Saturday to see if the cats attacked it. They didn't, so it's now fully decorated and they could not care less, which is good. What about yours? Do they leave the tree alone, John, or do they?
Yeah. I mean, they might float around like kind of suspiciously around it for the first day or two, but after that, it's normally fine. If you leave some of the baubles a bit too low, they might start playing with them. So if there's any expensive ones or ones that you're of sentimental value, I'd put them higher up, out of reach. But yeah, we haven't got a tree yet because my wife is completely slammed with work. It's very busy for her. She's a teacher and a lot of stuff going on, and she's correcting papers. She's probably still correcting, and it's now 9 p.m. and in between kind of telling the kids to go to bed, and she's been at it all day and all day yesterday. So, and probably all day tomorrow when she's not at work. So yeah, that's been fun. And yeah, I'm not going to get a tree. So the kids are like, when's the tree? Ask your mom. It's up to me. I'm not going to bother.
I was going up a week earlier than normal just because we had my brother and sister-in-law and nephews over at the weekend.
Yeah.
So it's like to have a Christmassy sort of thing because we're not going to see them again before before the new year.
Yeah.
So so we went up a week earlier than normal because normally my wife's birthday is at the start of December, so you have to wait till considerably after that to put the decks up normally.
Gotcha. Yeah. Now, if I had a fake tree, I'd probably already have it up, but it's just the whole thing of going out and getting a tree and all that kind of crap.
Yeah, I mean, because I haven't got the kids or anyone else, I don't bother doing anything. It's just like
I'd be fine with the little, those little whatever.
Yeah.
Little 2 foot tall little tree that you can put on your drawer, or kind of sideboard.
We've got a 3 foot fiber optic one somewhere here that I had when I lived by myself, and which Kerry got furious about because I left it up till April. And she's like, "It's a Christmas tree. What the hell's wrong with you?" I was like, "The lights aren't switched on. It's now just a house plant."
This is
It adds a bit of greenery to the house.
This is a bloke's apartment,
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think I have plants and stuff going around? This is as close as you're going to get. Right? Should we get into the predictions then?
Yes, go for it.
I'm intrigued.
And then at the end of the show, if you want to stick around, we'll also talk about movie and TV and whatever watching recommendations. We have a few of those if you're interested, because you might have some time over Christmas to catch up. You can see what we think is going good at the moment. Right, take it away.
Hey there, this is Curtis Ackerman, and the Eurolegions guys did not ask me for this audio message, but here it is. And watch and listen to their show and check out their Patreon. It's the best in the business, even though they don't care enough to get my recording.
Thank you, Curtis. So we'll definitely keep that one on file.
Yes. And despite that, he still bought a duvet / comforter offers.
Exactly, yeah. It's the type of guy he is, yeah. Right, first prediction then. So, as I said, episode 47 from last year, we knew nothing. We don't know nothing now either, but we know what happened this year, so if we can remember. So, let's see who's first up.
New factions. That's the first thing on my list is at last, when that's meant with all due respect to all the other current factions, we'll get new factions this year, probably at G-Con.
Wow. Pretty good.
Well, I'm done. I'll head off. I'll see you guys.
Straight out the gate, huh? If only Liverpool could score goals like that, huh?
We just leave it till the second half. It's the easiest way of doing it.
Score. Yeah.
Do you know the name of the faction that we got?
Oh, God, no.
The followers or disciples of something or other. It's the Dragon Clan.
Yeah.
The Dragon Clan.
The Dragon Folk.
Really?
Damn it, John. That's a good question. I don't know the answer. Mal, what is it? Quick.
Give me a sec. I'm looking.
Don't leave me hanging here, Mal. Come on. Type.
They don't have an option updated on the factions section of the website.
They not? They got it in there, though. Sure.
Yeah, no, they don't have it up there. So it is called.
It's somewhere though. You can see all the characters and maybe
just tell us, John. This is painful.
I'm nearly there. Sect of Azar.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, and Arya the Talon Bearer, she's the one that's up there. So that we got.
Yes, and then we've also got Rhaegor and Arizak as secret members as well, don't we?
I'm totally gonna I think I need to get a bit more display space, so I'm going to work that out, and I'm totally going to display them as the sect rather than in their current factions, I reckon.
Right, next prediction.
Because I don't necessarily think we will get new factions. Might get one, but and I've said I think we'll see an end. We will see an end to that versus element.
Okay, so not bad. You sat on
sat on the fence.
We should actually have one of those little things up in the corner for every time Mal sits on the fence on these.
We should make it a drinking game. See how quickly our listeners get absolutely hammered.
So you pretty much. I mean, you said no factions, and then you completely rolled back on that
one.
Immediately.
But I did specify one.
Yeah. I was just a lucky guess. Well, I suppose these are all lucky guesses. Huh? So, pretty good. Next up.
Do you think this might be the year we get a dragon?
There you go. Simple.
There we go.
Straight to the point. Year of the Dragon. You did talk a lot about it being Year of the Dragon, and obviously the 20. I didn't clip all that. I mean, we don't want to listen back to all that.
And it must be said, it was before it was being put out there quite so much as well, wasn't it? I do. Remember.
Oh yeah, this was January, so nobody was talking about Dragon much then. They were talking about All Stars.
Yeah.
So
I 100% agree. We'll definitely see a dragon this year. But I'm wondering. And I could be completely off here, whether it'll be an in-stock drop.
Oh, you were doing so well and then totally failed. Although the difference between, Rich with his definitely, and if we go back to Mal and...
Do you think this might be the year we get a dragon?
Oh, come on.
And Rich is, we'll definitely get a dragon. So I think that's the difference between both of you, really,
There's a Washington Commanders podcast I listen to. It's 4 guys that do a sports radio show. Mm-hmm. And one of those is like 100%, there's no way we're going to lose, absolutely nailed on. And the rest I'm like, well, we might. It's like, no. So I'm in that boat, basically.
You're him on this
no
podcast.
half measures here.
So yeah, with the in-stock drop, I mean, come on. What were you thinking?
I mean, this technically is an in-stock drop. You just have to wait a year for it because it takes a while to ship it.
It's like a Mezco in-stock drop, yeah.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what we got next, because we got 19 of these, so we shouldn't delete that.
More down for smaller dragons, a wave of 5 little kind of...
Absolutely.
12-inch dragons or whatever.
Okay, so I got the scale wrong, but I mean, wave of 5.
The number.
Got the 5. That's impressive.
That was, that was due to my research of all the. No, that was just number plucked out of.
You're like, there's potentially another 5 continents, so
Probably thinking it's a bit like Game of Thrones. There's all the good dragons, and then there was one evil ice dragon, at the end. So I was thinking the bad factions maybe get one bad dragon, and then the rest of the dragons are kind of on the good side, but maybe not.
If they're really thinking about it, they'll make one of the dragons a bad dragon, just so you go, well, okay, I'll get 2 then. I'll have a goodie and a baddie.
Yeah,
even if I can't get all 5.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
We're getting all 5, aren't we? Let's be honest. Well,
I mean, they'll release them. Whether whether I'll have space and the funds for 5 is another matter entirely.
Yeah. I mean, people are going to be complaining about maybe spending 400 or 500 on a dragon, but like people spend maybe 800 sometimes on a custom, which is completely insane. So if you have the money for it, you have the money for it. If you don't, it's tough. But I think the Horsemen will try and make it as available as possible, and paying installments and stuff like that.
Yeah,
for people.
Worst case scenario, we get one between us and just timeshare it, so we can spend 4 months a year with each of us.
Yeah, imagine the shipping cost for that.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, you have to come over and get it, John, when it's your turn.
I did hear somewhere, I can't remember which show it was, but that Jeremy mentioned it's going to be basically about the size of 2 troll boxes, the way they're going to package it. So the shipping won't be completely insane in that.
Yeah.
Where did they cover that? In the Legion's Lounge?
They mentioned it on Legion's Lounge. Yes, it was.
Okay, I'm just going to check. I think this is the next one.
What if it's not a dragon, and because it has been suggested and mentioned it is something they'd like to do, we get a play set?
Oh wow!
And we get the Castle of Four Sides play set.
Yes.
I mean, that would have been cool, and that could still come. I think that's not something that's ruled out or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think if they weren't going to do the dragon, which in hindsight, as I think we even said it at some point, it would be insane not to do the dragon this year with all either they're this year or never. It was kind of, and still it's next year, but it's been announced, so we can say it's this year. But Castle of Four Sides, I think people will be really down for even dio pieces, even a castle.
Oh,
imagine just a kind of a castle wall and battlements kind of thing. A bit like the Cosmic Dio set with maybe a bigger piece be great.
People would be all over that. Mm-hmm. And now that they've got the really big thing out of the way with the dragon, people are have it in their mind. Oh yeah, there's big stuff. So
definitely, they just have to do it maybe in a way that you could kind of switch it around so that you wouldn't get everyone just taking their photographs and they're all got the same background exactly because of, I don't know, there must be a way of doing it that you could do a couple of different looks of it. But again, that's for toy designers and smart people in that way to think about. It's not for me.
Exactly. Or for us talented artists just to draw some castle walls.
You can consult,
print it on A3, stick it up, boom, done.
The Microsoft Word castle walls coming soon.
You could charge at least $70 for that, couldn't you?
Yeah, easy. I can't remember which company it was, but one of the companies put out a castle walls diorama recently, didn't they? Which is basically just thin cardboard.
Super 7.
Was it Super 7? That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, okay, maybe if it's further like retro, whatever, 5 points of articulation line, I mean, that kind of has a charm. But if it was for us, the Ultimates or 6-inch figures. What were you saying today to me, Mal, about NECA and their VIP club? This was hilarious.
I've only seen one mention of it, but in one of the groups I'm in, they're sending emails around inviting people to be a member of their VIP club next year, but you have to have spent $400 this year. So this person in particular was like, with them in the NECA store, so this person's email was like, you only need to spend $260 more this year. And it's like, and as I said to you, if NECA was a person, you would think they were having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, with all the shipping problems they've had.
Just nuts.
And I mean, these emails could be going to people that have spent $2,000 in Target getting the NECA's figures, and then they've been asked to spend $260 more to be a VIP, and like they've literally got shelves everywhere full of NECA figures.
Yeah.
Insane.
It's just... tapped.
Right, let's listen to Past Us again. My thing with Mythic for this year is I don't think there's going to be an All-Stars wave this year. That's my prediction.
I think there will be.
Yeah, I think there will be too.
A little drive-by on the two of you by leaving that in there.
Yeah. I noticed that.
I'm pretty sure that's a fake file, that last bit with me. Mal sounded genuine. Me, it sounded like you just cropped it from somewhere else.
Yeah, so no All-Stars. It wasn't an outrageous suggestion because there was hints about maybe All-Stars not being their best-selling thing, and that there was possibility they might skip a year or do something. So but we got that right. I mean, one of us wins, we take a win for the whole group, except that
absolutely, and the change they've made is by far and away better as well.
Yeah,
and I know there was some initial from people about she's from Bendor, but it's new characters.
And there's a genius little prediction from you coming up as well, Rich. So
yeah,
just going to add, especially with what's been announced at G-Con, along with the way they're going to do that, like Ashes of Agbendor, and it seems potentially like we're going to get stories from the library each year now. There's a prediction ready for next week.
More lore.
Yeah. John, can you ask me my predictions first when we do them, please? I just made a note of Mal's idea. Straight on that.
Tales from the library. Okay, shall I go next?
Yep.
So I think slightly differently with the All-Stars. I think this time they're going to go down the route, like go big and then potentially stop it because they talked about not doing it, etc., etc. So I think rather than just like one alumni character like last time, they might actually do quite a few this time. So it might be like, all the older figures that we've not had released yet that they don't intend doing version 2s of. They're all in there. You can get 3 or 4 of them.
So you kind of mystery boxes prediction there a little bit. I'm going to take it as
and also the Mythic Legions Legacies or whatever it's called. That fits as well. So
yeah. But I think all the older figures that they just wanted to get done, I think pretty much in there. Yeah, the ones giving people a second bite in a way that wasn't financially disastrous for them. In the mystery boxes, they didn't have to do a full run of every figure. They tried to get them out there, and it kind of dampens down the secondary market as well for those figures. Okay, you might still have to pay 80 or 70 for some characters, but not the 100 odd, not the 150 that some of them are going for. So I think that was good. I mean, the warehouse finds, that's a different thing. Some of them I think people would still like to get their hands on. They're pretty rare. But
I think a couple of them, though, there is a potential we'll get version 2s. It's just they were literally warehouse finds, weren't they? So.
Yeah, but the likes of like Kador, the Shadow Elves, Sir Godfrey, you could fill your boots with them at Legion's Con. I mean, you could literally come home with a dozen of them, I'd say, no problem.
Yeah,
they had plenty of them.
Why anyone would want a dozen Kadors, I have no idea. But,
he's a cool figure. A dozen Sir Godfreys, I don't know why.
that's totally normal. I don't know what the hell's wrong with you.
No, I mean, if you haven't had a Templar, yes, but if you've got the Legion Builder Templars from a few years ago, you don't need Sir Godfrey.
You don't know. That's why I didn't pick him up. It's just like, no.
Yeah. And we're getting the cloth good ones now, so it depends what you prefer, of course. Some people prefer the okay.
I think they do the alumni thing, but then to really go for it in style, I wouldn't be surprised if they released the 4 Great Beasts at the same time.
Oh, I mean, you're predicting kind of next year, but it was announced this year. So we got the 4 Great Beasts pretty much on the way.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Not at the same time as the alumni / mystery boxes, but...
No, I can see why they did it the way they did, though. I mean, that would have been, obviously they want to keep the price to a particular point, and if they chucked in Aetheron and Xylona, particularly Aetheron, who'd got loads of new sculpting, then that just pushed it over.
Yeah, and I think they're not doing a re-release of those 2, they're doing an updated version, I think.
Yeah.
So that's going to be cool.
So because it's the Year of the Dragon thing and the All-Stars and that sort of thing, but I've also been thinking about the 20th, I'm thinking too much about this, the 25th anniversary of 4 Horsemen, and it's the men bit that has got me thinking. So I'm hoping maybe we could get like some beast men, like Warhammer beast men sort of thing. So it ties in with that Xylona stuff. That would be great. Or dragon men. Again, it's the Year of the Dragon. It's the horsemen thing. So maybe, a few dragon men characters might be a really good thing to get as part of that as well.
There we go, nailed it. Snake men and hyena. It's basically what I said.
I didn't know what to make of that one, but I knew you'd find a way of twisting it. Yeah. We kind of get to find out what it's like to work with Rich. What do you mean? That was a perfect idea. Look how it worked out.
Yeah, you told me to do that. Well, you say I told you to do that. Let's go back, shall we? I strongly hinted with...
And then it was up to you to decide what was the best course.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Okay, are we ready for another one? Rich has declared that one a winner. Maybe no Motu characters. This is no PowerCon this year, so no Motu homages.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad thing, I don't think.
Yeah, well,
at all.
You're not the biggest fan of them, are you? It depends on what they are.
The 2 cosmic ones worked really well. I think if they stuck with the cosmic stuff, then that could be a way to go.
So you won again there, Rich, really, at the end. We got Antophiles, so in cosmic. That's the only one we got.
I was wondering where that was going, because I was thinking, like, John could have stopped this. He's just trying to drag me into his bad prediction as well. And then we got there. It's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so I think they wouldn't have done Motu, except that David Williams did the awesome Antophiles, or, his original custom that was based on. So I think they knew that they could do one, and that would be perfect balance for it. So ideal. And no PowerCon again this year by the looks of it.
Well, I mean, he keeps suggesting there might
announced
be, but no information yet.
No info. It would seem like it would need to have been announced already if it's going to be.
I was going to say, because it's getting quite late, isn't it? If it's meant to be in August to not have any details yet.
Maybe they want to make it a bit smaller. I don't know. Okay, next.
So for G-Con, so I can see what Miles is saying about the dragon being a G-Con, and I get that. But I'm hoping it's not, because I'm hoping that we'll have the 2 new factions, one of which would be lizard men, maybe with snake men. Now, you know my passion for this, so it's maybe me hoping rather than thinking sensibly. And also some sort of race of sea people.
Oh, getting ahead of the game there with the sea people, maybe. But
could be predicting next year with that one.
Yeah, I think that's an open goal prediction for next year. So yeah, lizard men and snake men. I mean, you had to predict them
half right,
and
yeah. In fairness, whenever whatever year they decided to release those, I could have gone. I told you 10 years ago. I told you it was due.
Oh yeah, and we did a whole load of predictions at the end. I didn't cut them now. Was about when stuff was going to arrive and when stuff was going to be announced. They were awful.
Oh Jesus! I was going to say, I bet they were off.
Don't remind people of the bad bits, John. Just the good bits.
Exactly. Here we go. No, I mean I pretty much took all the predictions here, so it wasn't like I was cutting at it was just all the ones about. A lot of them were boring stuff, like about when stuff was going to be shipped. So it wasn't boring at the time. It's boring now because we have the stuff in hand.
Yeah.
You know.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get a new mount type of some sort.
Type of mount, so not another horse.
Yeah, no, so not a horse. So maybe they could do a goat or a boar or something like that.
Yeah, you were already kind
those
of
legs
hoping for that with Red Suns, weren't you? Or Rising Suns,
I mean, then those legs would sort of be fairly interchangeable. So you just need a new main body part for and a head sort of thing. So maybe something like that would be good. Or a shark if they go down the ocean.
This is just your shopping list. This is just your Amazon wish list if it was shopping on Amazon.
I'm beginning to realise I'm nothing if not predictable with this stuff.
For me, it's the a boar or a shark.
Or
just took a sharp
we went from mounts that are not horses to a shark man. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Now, next one,
Jeremy. If I remember rightly, Jeremy's already said that they're going to do the reveal of the wave, which will be the summer G-Con, I guess, for IshCon this year.
Yeah,
which is cool. That's because it's filling that PowerCon slot. And I think it'll be Ox Crew Book 2 or Book 3. And then the other reveal in the year will be the other one.
Yeah, so we moved on to Cosmic now. So we did get Ox Crew Book 2.
Actually, right. Yeah,
we got. And then, I like it was Ox Crew Book 2 or 3. It's like, oh god,
you were also predicting 2 Cosmic Waves after that. Yeah.
Yes,
that was.
I didn't contradict you either, though. So I think we all thought we'd get 2 Cosmic Waves, but I think logically the way it went, that's probably enough with the one for this.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see this coming year actually, and that's another show obviously. But they slowed Cosmic down last year, so it'll be interesting to see if they continue with it being a bit slower.
Mythic, so yeah. Of course, it also depends on maybe which one's more popular and what they want to do with that. But yeah, we got Mythic Wave now, and then we're probably going to get the Dragon pretty soon after Christmas. It's more Mythic, so Cosmic probably be early after the Dragon then. I don't know. Mightn't be great for Cosmic to put it right after the Dragon.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we're going to stick to Cosmic. Will be if there's. Well, no. I think it'll be IshCon again.
You think it'll be? Yeah.
There's another prediction that I should have waited till next week. IshCon.
Ox Crew Book 3. Thraxian Sharkmen.
Sand sharks.
Well, let's see how many.
There we go.
Let's see how many lizards Rich predicted in Cosmic here, or I don't know what the.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get Escape back in a different color, or maybe one with a saddle on, or something like that.
I will take that one.
Bungie. So cute. Yeah, absolutely nailed it. Nailed the bungee.
And it makes sense,
don't think
chucking
we'll
a saddle on it.
What's that?
I was just saying, chucking a saddle on anything like that it's just common sense, really, and good practice.
And strictly speaking, another type of mount. So
it is. Good point, Mal. Yeah.
It is indeed, yeah. And I'm really looking forward to that one. Actually, more than the skate back, but we're going to have to wait longer for bungee. Yeah. But I think...
I'm excited about both. But yeah, bungee's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm excited about skate back as well, but I think bungee is even cooler, which I didn't think would be possible after the first skate back, because he was pretty cool. Thought they would go maybe in a different direction, but yeah, make him cute. Why not? Right, shall we see what the next one is? This is a longer one.
I don't think we'll necessarily get a wave. I think we might get the retailer version of the Monkey King because of how popular that's been.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about anything else because I think it's too soon for maybe Marley and I suppose no, they maybe not.
Yeah, because it's just going to be pre-order anyway, even if it's a retailer. So it'll still be another year probably by the time they get it.
I'm not sure how they do a reseller version of Mask of the Red Death, though.
Reverse the colours, Richard.
It's obvious when you think about it. It's really obvious. Yeah. Oh dear.
So Mal wasn't sure, but he did get the Monkey King right. Wasn't hard.
I think that was obvious, wasn't it? Yeah.
When you said it was going to be a long one, and then Mal spoke, I was like, "Yeah, here we go then."
That's mean. No, that's mean.
I do like the way I went. Maybe we'll probably get. Maybe. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we will. Oh dear!
You
like
see why we call you on the
8-ball or something? They're going. Yeah.
You see why we call you on the fence? You know, it's not because we're mean. Yeah. So. It shows you we didn't even know about the retailer wave back in January, and we already have it in hand, or pretty much in hand.
Yeah,
so
that's a great element.
They've really well with that one.
Yeah, so some of them is quick
with new characters.
It's just those G-Con waves that take time.
It is. Right. They want to get them perfect. And
Oh yeah.
We benefit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Right. And it'll just give us a choice of 2,500 figures at Legion's Con this year.
It's going to be insane.
It's going to be big,
unless they have completely got rid of all their stock that they have now and just do the new stuff. I don't know, but even then it'll be insane. Right, 3 more to go. So,
okay, any idea? I mean, predicting Figura Obscura is a bit. I mean, we obviously think maybe next Christmas the ghost of
one of the ghosts,
Christmas ghosts.
One of the ghosts, you think, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
that's kind of the tease, isn't it? And then other than that, I've suggested maybe something a bit more horror themed again towards October, but maybe not.
I'm annoyed.
You had it till the end, Mal.
Could you next time? Can you leave off the? Oh, maybe not. So.
That would be disingenuous to our listeners. Also, I have to get really in there and clip it out then, and it's going to sound weird. So, yeah. So, I mean, okay, Frankenstein. Who was going to get Anubis and Pastel? I mean, Rich could have accidentally said it because he wanted Egyptian stuff, but I don't think he would have put it in Figura. I think he would have put it in Mythic. Wouldn't you?
100%.
Yeah. So
but I'm extremely happy they're doing that.
Yeah, was that springtime? March,
Anubis?
April?
No, it was May, June.
It was the first one of the year, but it was a bit later, wasn't it, than normal?
Yeah. It was around the same time we got Monkey King in the year, so around the June time. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Second last one.
Yeah, the only other thing I'd check out there would be, and we mentioned it before, but Blackbeard.
Yeah.
I think with that coat they're going to use it, and he's
maybe this year.
He's the most iconic pirate, I would say.
Yeah.
Particularly with the fuses in his beard and all that. So you'd make him really quite demonic almost.
I mean, still a cool prediction / suggestion. Blackbeard would be awesome.
Horribly wrong, but you never know for future.
Yes, indeed. Right, and the last one, maybe my favorite.
So a dragon being ridden by a lizard man, then this is what
he's desperate for those lizard men.
I really am.
Just had to get another lizard man reference in there.
Maybe that'll be
when I get the dragon now, I'm going to have the snake men riding it, aren't I? Just to make a point.
Yeah, that's
exactly. Yeah. So, but no saddle for the dragon. So I think that's cool. I think the figures can just grab onto the talons or whatever. That's what they do in Game of Thrones, isn't it? They don't have a saddle on them.
No, they're nobody. Yeah, they're not.
Game of Thrones, they didn't. House of Dragons, they do.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen House of
Dragons. Yeah, it's like professional dragon riders versus some Yahoo that's just got 3 dragons out of nowhere and gone, I'll just hop on the back of one of them.
Makes sense if you think about it. Yeah. She doesn't really know what she's doing, but she has the instinct. Yeah. Right. So that's the predictions. So shall we do recommendations, and then I think we're good. Did we want to talk a bit about Christmas as well, Rich? Did you want for that, or are we good?
Yeah, we can do a bit about Christmas, can't we?
Yeah.
Can do. As I say, my mind is rotted, so you guys might have to lead on that one.
Yeah, we have to do for the cover, the YouTube thumbnail for this one. We have to do just a picture of us all, or like each of us with our head in our hands about our predictions. So if you could send me over those, that would be great.
I can do that.
Okay. I have to get someone else to take the photo, but yeah.
You can do one hand,
Just ask in the office, Mal. They won't think you're weird at all.
Yeah, that's it. Could you just take a photo of me?
I need it pretty early, though. If we're going to get this out to our lovely Patreons in time for them to listen tomorrow. Right, so Christmas then. Wanted to just, as it's kind of coming up to Christmas, talk a little bit about what our Christmas traditions were when we were kids, or what Christmas was like. I know for me, we had, this was a time when everyone kind of came back home that was away, like my sister and my brother. They're a good bit older than me, so they always were home for Christmas, and we had family dinner and all that kind of stuff. Christmas tree, obviously, and then loads of mass. Was brought up in a Catholic family, and there was midnight mass, there was Christmas Day mass. Then there was the thing after mass of going around to all the relations' houses in the town, drinking cups of tea, and the men would be given brandy usually, and the women would be given either just tea or maybe like a hot whiskey or something. And it was always my mom's challenge not to let my dad drink too much brandy, because then he would be just a write-off for that. I didn't really know that as a kid, but when I was like a teenager, I realized that, my aunts would always be like, "Oh, Brendan, do you want another brandy? Do you want another brandy?" Oh yeah. My mother would just be in the corner going, "No," because he would basically just after Christmas dinner, then he would be gone to bed completely. And he wasn't crazy drunk or anything. It was just he couldn't handle his drink, in terms of just being drunk. So like 2 or 3 brandies, and he'd be talking absolute horse crap. That wouldn't be anything bad, but it would be embarrassing the head off my mother.
Yeah.
And the one thing Irish mammies don't like is being embarrassed in front of other people. It's all about the appearances. So that was kind of the main memories of the Christmas traditions in terms of that. And then, so the 26th, your guys' Boxing Day, we call it St. Stephen's Day. That was just everyone going to the pub, because the pubs had been closed for a day. What the hell? So, and as I got older, that was the big kind of football Premier League. Well, it wasn't as big of it was always a thing, but it wasn't as big of a thing on TV in Ireland until mid-90s, I'd say. And then it was like, just this kind of big, because it was football. It's football all day, isn't it, on 26th? Americans have the American football on Christmas Day, don't they?
Christmas Day, I know. Yeah. That's just...
Whereas the Premier League football is on Boxing Day, which means those poor footballers have to probably not eat too much on Christmas Day, which that's got to be tricky.
Because they're dabbing their eyes with their with their thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds. They can.
I think it was one thing we could say about them. They're not poor.
They have a very nice summer.
Yeah. Yeah, and then for Christmas, we had Santa as a tradition, and it was Christmas morning. He always got the gifts. I never thought of anything different until I came over to where I live now, where everything is done on Christmas Eve, or on the 5th of December is the St. Nicholas Day. But we just had Santa coming overnight, 24th to the 25th. And I just remember so often not being able to sleep and, tossing and turning. It was the one night of the year where, basically it was just too hyped up to go sleep. And it was awesome. It's where you get the love.
I think it's fair to say I was a good sleeper as a child. I still am now.
Yeah.
Because my dad used to, big pillowcase at the bottom of the bed, which is where Santa left the presents. Yeah. And my dad was the clumsiest man in the world, and never once did I wake up. And God knows how many times he tripped over stuff, dropped things, all that sort of stuff. So it's fair to say I was a good sleeper as a child.
I'm not a good sleeper anymore, but I must have been because, my dad used to do the very same thing. Is one of the memories I do have is going into my folks' room early on. I look back, what an annoying little shit, hey? They must have been sort of awake or just about awake because we go in. And then my sister came in not long after, or with a bag of toys, and I'm like, I didn't get anything. And they were like, are you sure? Go and look at the end of your bed. And I'd walked past it, even like a big bag of toys, well, not toys.
You got them at the end of the bed. Mine were always under the Christmas tree down in the sitting room.
Mine was always end of the bed thing.
We had
so my gig was a little bit easier for Santa then. He didn't risk waking the child.
I think some of my Christmas memories, a bit like you, John, it was like, the olden days, as it were. So it was going around to friends' houses Christmas mornings, your parents' friends' houses Christmas morning, and a few drinks to be had and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then off to see my gran on my dad's side, sort of late morning on Christmas Day. For some reason, they never seemed to come over to us. We always had to go over to them for the Christmas Day thing. And I remember vividly getting Mass Universe figures there.
Yeah,
that Santa had delivered them there.
Oh wow!
So I picked those up there. It was the only 4 I ever had. It was like, these are all right. But I do vividly remember getting them.
Yeah, I got some for Christmas for sure. At Transformers, I remember getting an Optimus Prime.
Yes, one of my favorite. It's a run up to Christmas, I guess. Mm-hmm. Is when I was old enough to know that obviously Santa, spoiler alert, may or may not be real if there's children listening to this. So I was like, full on to Transformers. Some of the folks are like, well, just, what Transformers do you want? So out comes the Argos catalogue, which for American listeners, it's a shop where you can't see anything, basically. They just have a catalogue and you flick through it and you take a bit of paper up with a number on, and then they go out the back and then bring you the toy or whatever else you're buying.
It's kind of like internet shopping, like in the 80s.
Although then one of the other quirks of Argos was you'd order this and it could have been that, or that, and you didn't know which one you were going to get.
Yeah.
Like if it was a wave of Transformers, it'd be just one of them.
Yes. If there was like 6 Marvel figures in a wave, then you just get one because they're all under the same SKU number.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And you could order 2 and end up with 2 of the same one, essentially.
Ridiculous. But that was the year I got the Dinobots, I remember. So I was there, obviously there's 5, and I was just like, And my folks were like, well, you're not having 5. It's like, right, okay. And I spent so long trying to decide which 3 I wanted. I think I got 4 in the end. They got me a bonus one as well, sort of thing. But,
so then they just left you one short.
I never had Swoop.
What was that?
I never had him.
You never had who?
I never had the Dinobots.
Swoop. Pterodactyl. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I never had the Dinobots either. I think they maybe passed Ireland by, or I don't know what it was.
And then related to that sort of thing, because I lived in the backwaters of North Wales. So the nearest, it's not even a big city, but the nearest big-ish city was Chester, just over the border in England. But in those days, there was no dual carriageway. So it was like best part of 2 hours to get there sort of thing.
Windy roads, potholes.
Windy roads and horrendous. But we'd go sort of early December every year sort of thing. And they had a toy and hobby store, which I'm not sure when they went out of business, but it was a long time ago. But effectively a Toys R Us, but on a slightly smaller scale. And it was just awesome because you just go in and there's just, instead of having Woolworths with like a handful of toys where I lived, all of a sudden there's this proper toy shop with just racks of G.I. Joe figures. And,
oh my God.
And all that sort of stuff. But it literally was a once a year trip because it took so long to get there, sort of thing. So it was like a big, like, oh, we're going to Chester. We're going to Chester. Amazing.
Yeah, I hit that where I was. Galway is the big city. It's about only 14 miles away, but that seemed like, you know, a lot longer as a kid.
Yeah, we had to. Sorry, John, you go.
No, it was just, the road was, it was about a 40-minute drive, or else you get the train and, you know, you could. So, wasn't too bad, but yeah.
Yeah, no, we had to go through a town called Conwy on the Welsh coast. And it wasn't quite single lane, but it was so narrow that it may as well have been single lane at one point. So you've got all these people, and it's like the only route through North Wales, and just people trying to get virtually through a single lane gap. You're like, looking back on now, there's a tunnel underneath the estuary, and they've tunneled through 2 of the mountains, so the dual carriageway all the way through. But yeah, in those days, it was painful.
And you can now just order on the internet, so
you can, and get them delivered, yeah.
And in terms of Christmas dinner, it was always a big deal in your places, in your homes.
Well, I'd sort of have to just talk a bit about this. Is where it sounds so miserable, but it wasn't. We used to, for as long as like I was a lot, you know, from my youth. My mum was a nurse, or the RGN, which is like the registered nurse at a nursing home. So for most Christmases, she would work. So we'd get up, do the presents, and then she'd be off to work.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't really do much after that, you know. Boxing Day, depending on whether she worked Boxing Day or not, we'd then do what you guys have talked about, of either going to a family member or them coming us. And we'd probably have dinner on Boxing Day if we were going to do it. Again, depending on if my mum worked both days or just Christmas Day. She was doing it so other people didn't have to, you know, which... fair play to her. So.
Yeah, no, we went full on.
Yeah.
Sort everything. Of, everything you can imagine. My mum still does it. So you go up there and it's like, you know, there's
and what age is she now?
And you're like, she's late 70s.
Wow. Still
so,
still doing it.
Yeah, so you go up there and there's this like insanely big turkey, you know, as if there's 1,000 people coming around. It's just like, what the hell? No. And then do pigs in blankets. So I'm not sure if that's the Americans have that, but it's sausages wrapped in bacon.
I think they do. I hope they do.
Yeah,
it's
and then there was this portion of sausage meat. You're like, why have we got sausage? We've already got sausages. Why?
Yeah,
and then the stuff and then the stuffing, another stuffing as well, which always had sausage meat in it as well.
Sausage meat in the stuffing. Is the best.
Wow.
It's such a Christmas thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just insane. It was just like you had this like turkey, you know, a big turkey big enough to eat you, no mind the other way around, plus 2/3 of a pig probably, and it's just and it's still the same now.
I mean, I always cook Christmas dinner now here, and but like we just get chicken because there's 4 of us, and like my daughter doesn't eat meat, so there's only really 3 of us, and that's even then we still have leftovers for 2-3 days, 4 days depending on. So yeah, the turkey is completely overkill unless you have like another family or 2 coming, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Last year, my mum was like, "Oh, let's get a turkey crown," and we almost came to blows, the 2 of us, in the supermarket on Christmas Eve because she wanted like, "I need this massive one." I was like, "No, you don't. There's just 4 of us. Just get the smallest turkey crown you can." No,
and it won't take 8 hours to cook.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we used to, when I was a kid, we used to eat turkey, but as I got older, I think it was whatever, you know, just easier to do other things. And my sister has always been and got more and more picky about what she would eat. So.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, as an adult, we if we have Christmas in our house, we never ever have turkey. We had beef Wellington one year, which was glorious.
That's nice.
Sounds good.
But yeah, it's always beef or something like that instead, not even a chicken necessarily.
Yeah. Cool. And favorite thing you got for Christmas? I mean, mine, I remember getting, obviously, Transformers, got some Masters of the Universe. A big thing I wanted was a dartboard, and I got one at some point, probably when I was about 10. And then a console was the kind of last thing I got before, the last thing I got from Santa, you say. and it was bloody Sega Master System. I wanted a Mega Drive, which is the Sega Genesis for in American. But I got the 8-bit. So the Genesis was 16-bit. The Master System was 8-bit, and but I still loved it. We had a great time with it, and I was the only one that had one because other people had the Mega Drive or Nintendo. So friends used to come around to play it because they didn't know the games. And it was actually quite good because the Master System games were more available for some reason in the toy shop that I used to go to, the big toy shop. And I think a lot of them got dumped in Ireland. The Master System got dumped in Ireland. And I've spoken to Australians as well about this, and they say it's the same, that the Master System was huge there. And I think that, it didn't sell well in certain parts of the world, so a lot of it got kind of offloaded to certain countries that were maybe a little bit behind on the technology front at the time. So but it was great. So I'd say 3-4 years I was getting games for it. The big cartridges, really, really grim looking boxes. That was just, it was like, your maths kind of homework copybook where you do your maths with all the squares. It was like a page of that with a little image on it. That was the boxes. All the same, except for the image of whatever the game was. And they had a couple of good games. Remember, they had a tennis game that was awesome, and this game called Enduro Racer, which is just basically going at a diagonal on a moped or motorbike, jumping over more and more difficult ramps. In the end, it just gets to an insane difficulty that you can't kind of manage anymore. And the machine I got came packaged in. It was built into the board. This game called Alex Kidd in Miracle World, one of the most difficult games of all time. And there's a point in it where you have to play rock, paper, scissors, and you get like 3 goes. If you don't get them right, it's game over. So it's always the same. So you have to write it down, but you just get game over the first time you get there if you get it wrong. And you get further, and it happens further and further and you might have passed this impossible bit, and then you have to play rock, paper, scissors, and it's like, who thought of this? Yeah.
It's hard to believe, isn't it? That, I mean, you hear it all the time, but the fact that that was it. The amount of times you restarted games and you pretty much had to play them through.
And then was it. You weren't. And then Sonic came out for it, and that was mind blowing. And I got Sonic 1 and 2, I think, on it. Which were still pretty decent, although probably unplayable these days. But back in the day, it was perfect. And you guys,
Sonic was awesome.
Mal, Christmas presents, can you remember?
I've only got sort of 2 memories, one more clear than the other. So I guess these must have been my favourites. The big one is, and I've talked about this before, the Amiga 500. It was, under a cover, and we were doing normal sort of Christmas. I actually don't think my mum was working that year, but because I feel like she was around all day that day. But doing the normal, open the smaller presents and all that, and then my dad was like, "Oh, what's that in the corner?" And he's like, "What?" And I hadn't even noticed this huge thing under a cover. And then whipped it off, and it was the Amiga, and of course, it's for the family, you're sharing it, so you're kind of vying for your time that day. And I had it was the one that came with Batman, and I can't remember whether it was Dizzy or Rainbow Island, because my sister got those quite quick succession, but for me, it was Batman mainly.
Awesome.
And I feel like it was Dizzy. That was a hard game. Mind you, so was Batman.
Well, they were all hard back in the day.
Yeah. And then the other one is and it's a vague memory, but I do remember, it being a Christmas, kind of getting Castle Grayskull, the one year. So yeah.
Awesome. I don't think I ever had Castle Grayskull. I kind of remember it, but I don't. Maybe one of my mates had it. I don't remember personally having it.
No, I was going to say this. Yeah,
still
there's 2 that I remember. So again, like you guys, it's a computer one. So I got an Amstrad 464, which is a very cassette loading, like proper cassette games sort of thing. And I remember again, went to Chester, got this one, and there's a big debate about whether we should get just a green screen monitor or a color monitor. I think we went with the green one in the end because it was considerably cheaper.
Of course.
Yeah. But yeah, it was the days of the games are on tape. So you'd put it in, it would take 25 minutes. Then you come upstairs and turn it over to the other side, pop it back in for another 25 minutes. And then just for the end, it go, no, there's a problem. And you have to start the whole thing again. And it's
how much time did we have that we could do that?
Apparently years and years to play these games. Yeah.
It's incredible.
I don't think we slept, but no, it came with some basic games like Commando. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
Awesome.
You're just scrolling up the screen. Ikari Warriors. I love those sort of games.
Ikari Warriors was my favorite arcade game as a kid. That and Double Dragon.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
And I actually found an emulator of it at some point a couple of years ago, and I played it for ages. And then I got it on the Switch. You can actually get It's a game that comes with 40 different games from this company. Of the 80s.
That's interesting.
And the Ikari Warriors arcade version is on it, and it's exactly as I remember it, and it's still good.
I will be looking for that. Thank you, John.
Yeah, I'll get you the name of it. But yeah, came out a good while ago.
And then my other memory, particular memory for a toy, you would never ever be allowed to buy it nowadays. But these were, they were more relaxed times in terms of health and safety. And it's a game called Crossfire, and it was a really
tasering
long game.
People. No,
it must have been at least 5 foot, probably 6 foot long. I've still got it at my mum's. I should measure it next time I'm up there. Massive game. And there's, like air hockey.
Yeah.
Think of that sort of board. So it's got the little plastic sides and that sort of thing. But at each end, you've got a gun that's attached to the game. And you fire metal ball bearings out. These little, it's like an ice hockey puck in the middle, and you have to try and hit that into a goal at the other end. And you're firing metal ball bearings full on. Yeah. And it's
there's someone at the other side, I suppose. Yeah, shooting.
Yeah, there's somebody at the other end trying to get it into your thing. So if anything gets stuck and you put your finger out to try and move something, you could break a finger with your opponent just decides to fire.
And they came out at quite a force, or
yes,
you'd heard.
It was finger breaking sort of force. They would never ever get it nowadays. It's insane. But yeah, I think because it was just so dangerous, I think that's probably why I remember getting it and just setting it up and just blasting away.
It's probably quite rare on eBay these days or something, is it?
I need to check because I still got it in box at my mum's house. So
could be funding Legion's Gone 25.
Could well be, yes.
This not safe for anybody game.
Yeah. I wonder if eBay be like, you can't sell that. That's too dangerous. We had people injuring themselves using that. No.
Yeah. So that's that. Anything more for Christmas, or shall we?
I think I've talked previously about my G.I. Joe Alpine climbing the Christmas tree over the course of the festive period. Yeah. And I had a G.I. Joe classified Alpine arrive last week.
Oh, it's got to get him on the tree.
So there's a pretty good chance he's going to be going up the tree this year.
I need photographic evidence, please.
Yeah, you're never too old for that sort of thing, so that will definitely be happening.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I think there's an adult too. I think Holly's too old now, she's 12, but in the days where, she was convinced there was a Santa. I'm not saying if there is or not, kids, if you're listening, but she was convinced there was a Santa. So we used to go to these Christmas themed events sort of thing. So one year Kerry was like, I know there's a down in Bristol Harbour. You get on board a little boat, you sort of pootle around the harbour for about half an hour. You have mince pie, glass of wine or whatever sort of thing. And Father Christmas comes on, aka Santa, gives the kids a present. I'm like, oh, that sounds pretty good. So there's the 3 of us. And Kerry's best friend and her and husband and 2 kids, the 7 of us, we get on this boat. It's a tiny little boat, but we get on, and the kids are quite young. So the kids were Holly was probably 3 or 4, and then the other 2 were a couple of years older and a year younger sort of thing. And it's all great. And then all of a sudden the captain goes, oh, Santa's over there. So everyone looks out the window of this little boat, and there's Santa stood on the quayside, and he's waving with his bag of presents and this sort of stuff. So we go over, and Santa gets on board, and Santa is paralytic drunk. I mean, he's hammered drunk. So he wobbles onto the, and bear in mind this is a boat, obviously, so it's it's a little bit, it's a harbour, it's not particularly choppy, but it's a little bit choppy. So he's like, and he gets to his seat. And he gives out one present, and then he shouts to the captain, "Where's Santa's special drink?" And you're like, "Oh God, this turned into an episode of Father Ted now. Jesus Christ!" So, and it arrived, and he wolfed it down, and then gave a couple more presents out. He's like, "Where's Santa's special drink?" And it's like, God, no wonder he's doing this. Is like his 4th or 5th boat trip of the day. No wonder he's so drunk. It was amazing. And then like the adults were just wetting them. The kids didn't know what was happening. We were just wetting ourselves laughing. It's like, this is...
I wondered, did Santa getting paid in his special drink then?
Maybe, yeah. It was so funny. That's a memory that will stay with me forever.
Oh, I love that. That's perfect. I think that rounds off our Christmas section perfectly. Right, let's get on to recommendations.
Hi, I'm Paul Zach, Wally22974 on Instagram, and you're listening to the Euro Legions podcast, the best podcast.
Oh, thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you for that beer as well, Legions Conduit.
I just have so many things on the soundboard now because of all those clips. Thing, I was like, I couldn't find where my people were. Right. So we got some recommends. So the first thing I want to recommend, I actually remembered it, and it's a really old thing, but I remembered it from talking about Christmas in the 80s and whatever. In my downstairs toilet here, so it's starting a bit grim here. I have a little stack of books that I read because I try not to, just be on the phone on the toilet, trying to read again. But it's not books; it's books that I've read for years, and I actually found them the last time I was back home in Ireland, in my mother's house. The Adrian Mole books. Do you remember them? Did you read them?
I never read them, but I know of them. Yeah.
Oh, Sue Townsend was the author. She's hilarious. She has a couple of other books that I've read as well. They're quite funny. But the Diary of Adrian Mole, aged I think 13 3/4 is the first one. It's from 1981 or 2. And I think if you want to find out what the 80s was like, especially in Britain or Ireland, I think to an extent, it's just perfect. It's so funny. It's so dry humored. It's so like he's not aware of half the stuff that's going on, but it's just so funny. And he's a bit of a disaster, but he thinks he's not, and he wants to be a poet in the end and all this kind of stuff. He has all these ambitions, ends up in a kind of a boring office job, and they still went they still she did them up until he was in his 40s or 50s. So like there is one from like just a couple of years ago. I think she died not so long ago, but I think I listened to the last one on audiobook. That's how recent it was. I love them. I just love the character. He's such a miserable git. He makes you feel better about yourself. So that it kind of makes me feel nostalgic, which is weird because I don't try and do nostalgia with toy collecting as much. I mean, I like some of the older stuff, but nostalgia doesn't tend to be my driver. But I get nostalgic sometimes about old stuff like that, like books or movies. If I watch Only Fools and Horses, even though I never lived in London, or that it somehow makes me nostalgic for the 80s. I don't know why. And that's a real British show, so it's funny. Anyway, so what have you guys got to recommend before people get sick of listening to me? Rich?
A Christmas film I would recommend is, and people probably, some of the, are like, the best Christmas film ever is Scrooged, Bill Murray, but everybody knows about that one. So a lesser known one I would recommend is a Finnish film called Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale. This is described on Wikipedia as a fantasy action horror comedy film. I think that pretty much sums it up. I saw the trailer for it a few years ago. Oh, it's 2010, so quite a few years ago now. And it starts off with, it's Christmas, everyone's happy. And then it just goes to a snow-covered field with just reindeer parts spread all over it. And you're like, okay. And the premise is that Santa is a demon, basically, who was imprisoned centuries ago, and these gold miners or oil miners or whatever they are, oil diggers, free him accidentally, and then it just goes horribly wrong. And it's such a good film.
So does Santa have a demon wang?
If he did, he kept it hidden, but probably yes.
That's probably good then. That recommends the film even more.
Snow, so it's probably cold.
Yeah, he might have retreated. But I thoroughly recommend that for an oddball Christmas film.
It sounds bonkers, and I'm sure I'll never watch it, but I'm sure there is people that listen that would be.
Mal seen it. Mal smiled as soon as I mentioned it.
Yeah, I bought it on the first time I heard of it because I couldn't find it anywhere. I bought it on DVD. So,
and is it in English or is it a subtitle job or
both?
There's
English
both,
and
yeah.
subtitles. Finnish. Which, funnily enough, was one of my recommendations as well, because I always do, because it's something not everyone's seen. So, yeah. But one of my other recommendations, I finally got around to watching Violent Night with David Harbour playing Santa Claus.
Is that good? I've still not seen it.
It's really good. I actually want to buy it on DVD. So I've got to, when it goes off the streaming services. Oh, we should say Rare Exports you can currently get on Prime.
Thank you, Mark.
For people, no problem. And Violent Night is currently on Netflix for anyone who's got that. But yeah, Santa Claus, without saying too much about what goes on, he's getting a bit fed up with Christmas.
It's his only day of the year he has to work. What's wrong with him?
Well,
or maybe that's why he's fed up with it.
Yeah, there's a story behind that as well. He goes to drop this presents off at this house, this wealthy family, and it's all gone a bit wrong and kicked off. But it's really good. It's a good action film. It is genuinely funny at points. And David Harbour's he's excellent. I think he's quite underrated as an actor, to be fair to him.
Another random one, and I'm not sure if I've covered this on the show or not before, but another random Christmas film called Fat Man, starring Mel Gibson as Father Christmas. And the premise is that Father Christmas doesn't deliver a present to a young boy, and that young boy gets extremely angry and hires a hitman to take out Father Christmas. And Father Christmas is quite a badass, so it's not as if he's like, worried particularly by the hitman. It's just really weird but really good fun. And Walter Goggins plays the hitman, and Walter Goggins is great in everything he does.
Great, yeah.
So yeah, it's very weird but very good. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
My other one's a TV series actually that that's set. Well, it was released last Christmas or the Christmas before. Swedish series on Netflix again called Elves, and that's another horror one about elves, and that's all I really want to say about it. It's I think you can. It's either subtitled or I think there was an English dub to it as well. But yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, worth a watch.
And Fat Man's available on Prime Video if anybody wants to watch that.
This could be just in the UK though, because Prime is random.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah.
Although probably UK, US is probably similar.
Yeah,
I know in this foreign language countries like I'm in, it can often be different.
Yeah. Netflix will be a bit different, unfortunately, for us, but
yeah. But yeah, at least it does exist on some streaming service. So if it's on a streaming service in UK, it'll probably be on the streaming service in US.
And can I check a couple of non-festive series that are out? But they're out now.
That's all I have.
Okay.
I've got some non-ones. So.
I'll just do one then first, and you guys can pitch in. The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix. Series 3 dropped.
Watch that
in October, I think. We're just getting around to it now. Brilliant series.
Yeah, I watched it.
Lawyer that does all his work in the back of a Lincoln because he's so busy. So as a chauffeur, hence the Lincoln Lawyer. I think there's a film with Matthew McConaughey donkeys years ago. Around the same thing.
I think it was, yeah.
It's a different actor playing it now, and it's a series.
It's based on a book, isn't it?
It is, yeah. There's a series of books, I think.
By a famous writer, one of the famous kind of thriller writers.
Yeah. But I highly recommend that on Netflix.
Yeah, it's a great series. I watched it probably around the time it came out. Then it was kind of, we didn't have much on our list, and it came out at the right time. I'm currently watching The Day of the Jackal on Prime. No, not on Prime. It's on Sky, HBO Sky. So HBO in US. It's amazing. It's with Eddie.
Is it good?
Eddie
I want to give that a
Redmayne.
watch.
So the guy that plays Newt Scamander in Fantastic Beasts, well, he's a bit different in this one, but he's brilliant. Yeah. So he's an assassin basically, and the first 10 minutes of it, and you're already like, right, I'm hooked. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic, and I think there's 9 episodes out already, and I think the last one might be this week, or there's 2 more. I'm not sure, but it's really good story, and it's based on a book. I can't remember who wrote it again, but another
I think it's a Frederick Forsyth book, isn't it? I think
might be.
Yeah, The Day of the Jackal, isn't it? But,
it's Frederick Forsyth, I'm sure. Yeah.
And just excellent. He is amazing in it. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of it. He doesn't have many lines, but because he's a bit of a cold guy in a way, and he's also leading a kind of a double life behind the scenes as well. So just really well done. And I think they've obviously modernized it because a lot of it's done through the internet in terms of how he gets hired and stuff like that. So they've modernized the story, but absolutely highly recommend it. Now, I haven't seen the finale yet, so hopefully that doesn't become a damn squib, but I don't think so. So that's one from me. Mal, have you got anything else?
I've got a load. I wrote quite a few things down. Let's go movies though.
Mm-hmm.
So I recently
give us a few then.
Yeah, okay. So recently watched Hellboy: The Crooked Man. I saw Jesse Arnold mention this and how good he thought it was on Facebook, and I've got to agree with him. It was really, really good. It's funny because it's probably lower budget than the previous Hellboy films, but it actually feels the most like Hellboy. And it almost, it's really good. The Crooked Man is sort of a myth demon type thing, and it's actually set. Is it during the war? The First or Second World War? It's set. It must be. I think it was Second World War. It's set during. So it's a bit further back in time, which adds to the interest. It's a good. Then another one I've watched recently, and I actually spotted this on the plane on the way to. Was it on the way to? Yes, it was on the way to New Jersey. But it was one of these that. So I should explain what it is. It's set in Belfast, and it's about a real life story of a rap group that became figureheads, unexpected figureheads for the civil rights movement, and helped bring back the Irish language in Belfast.
That's quite a recent thing, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Well, it's the band in it. The band plays themselves in it, and it's called Kneecap, which was I don't think that was the name of the band. I don't know if that was the name. Is that the name of the band? Yeah. That's on Prime, and I actually started to watch it on the plane to New Jersey, but it starts off Irish language, and I thought I'm not sure in the mood to sit and read the subtitles, but it does. It switches back and forth throughout, and it's absolutely fantastic. It's really funny at points, and and really it handles the troubles really well. It's not too in your face and too heavy, but it's also very poignant at points as well. So really worth a watch. And then the other one I've seen, this is a little while ago now, but very good, Late Night with the Devil, which is also on Prime. A horror film starring David Dalmatian, is it? Who's been in a lot of things, and he plays a talk show host, and they bring a girl on who's possessed, and it goes horribly wrong, as you can imagine. But cool. Got a few TV shows as well, but other people talk, and then we'll come back to that.
Can I pitch in very quickly? I don't want to do this at the end because it'd be a negative finish, but while we're recommending films, can I recommend one for people to stay away from because it is god awful? And it's one I found on, I think it was Prime recently, called Out of Darkness.
Okay.
And it's about a group of Neolithic hunters who travel to this far off land to try and find good hunting grounds. And it all goes horribly wrong, and there's like a demonic thing. I can't say how it finished because I gave up 3/4 of the way through. So this is just terrible.
You walked out of your own sitting room.
It's really low budget, and I think to make it worse, they have them speaking some sort of dialect, like completely made up. So you have to listen to them speaking to this nonsense made up language and watch the subtitles. And like, you are kidding me, aren't you? This is not as if it's just like no, and it's just terrible.
I think this
avoid
is
like
one
the
of the
plague.
big problems with Prime, although I pay for the shipping as much as I pay for the movies, is there's just hundreds, possibly thousands of really low budget movies, and they're dreadful. Most of them are awful.
This one is
worse
just
than some
awful.
student films I've seen. I've seen some really good student films, and these are worse. And yet somebody's given them a decent budget to make them. And without, getting my soapbox now, and they're just dreadful. Yeah, and you can tell and they're such high concepts like that at points. And it's like, why didn't you do something simple? It would have been so much better. Yeah. Anyway,
just something I wanted to quickly shout out. So you were talking about that Northern Irish band or whatever. I'm listening to a podcast at the moment called Steak Knife. The actual podcast is called Cover, and the season is called Steak Knife on BBC Sounds, and you'll find it in all the podcast players. But it's about this British spy inside the IRA, true story, from the 80s, and it's fantastically done. And the production is done by these probably the best podcast producers in Ireland that we have. They went out on their own on Patreon. They were a sports podcast, and they went out on their own on Patreon in 2013 or so. They were on the main talk radio station in Ireland, and they they were doing the late night kind of slot with all the sport, and they wanted to kind of get a daytime slot, and they wouldn't give it to them, so they all mass quit and formed their own company, and they do podcasts now. So I listen mainly to their sports show, but they have this show that they produce for BBC, and they do different seasons on different things every year, and this one it's not finished yet, but it's really well done. It's really well done.
Oh, that sounds really good. It's very, because it's been all over the news over here, isn't it, in the last couple of years, so it's exactly. A very interesting topic.
Yeah, so the second episode is basically he spends the whole kind of day driving around with the father of one of the guys that got killed in this, and who was a former member of the IRA as well, and they kind of trace the whole route that the guy went on, that kind of between the time he was kind of taken and murdered a couple of weeks later or whatever. And it's just really, really, really well done. They know how to do, produce an audio kind of documentary show. It's really good. So anyway, that wasn't one on my list, but it just jogged my memory there when you mentioned.
Yeah, definitely.
And the steak knife was the code name of the British army spy inside the IRA. So that was basically.
What was the name of the actual podcast again?
Cover. So Cover. They have a couple of seasons on BBC Sounds, and I think if you listen to it on BBC Sounds itself, so on the app, they're a week ahead on the episodes. So and it's free. It's not, you don't need to pay for BBC Sounds, right? And you lucky guys in the UK don't get ads. Us BBC listeners outside of the UK have to suffer through ads. It's not too bad, but
that's always a weird thing when we're in America. I bring up BBC Sport when we're in America, and there's adverts all over it. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's like I downloaded a couple of podcasts on in the hotel for the plane on the way home. Halfway through the normal podcast, I'm listening to this big American ad, and I'm like, what? I realize just when I download it in America, you get the region-specific ads, kind of, because the ads are just automatically inserted by the companies that produce the podcasts or that host the podcasts. Like if we had a couple of thousand more listeners, we could get advertising on our show, but I don't think it would be to be recommended. You need to be doing a lot of numbers to be making money off that kind of stuff. Right. Anything else, Mal? You said you had a lot, so.
Yeah, some of them are pretty old, so people have possibly seen them, but I've recently finished watching Cyberpunk Edge Runners on Netflix, and it was really, really good. I think you're going to have to kind of like anime and Cyberpunk to appreciate it, but I really, really enjoyed it. Star Trek Lower Decks is currently into its new season. It's about 7 or 8 of 10 episodes. I've sort of held off watching it to try because they're so easy to watch. You fly through them, but I can't help it. I need to see it. And
comfort television.
First couple. Yeah. First couple have been more of the same.
Did you see? I can't remember which Star Trek show it was. I want to say Strange New Worlds, but it might not have been. Where the Lower Deck crew came through as real people.
They did a crossover.
Yeah, it was so cleverly done. I've never seen Lower Decks, but I knew what it was, and it was so cleverly done that they came through as real people.
Well, I tried to watch Lower Decks before I started watching Strange New Worlds, and I just wasn't keen. I couldn't get into it. But then I saw those episodes of Strange New Worlds with Lower Decks guys. I thought, I've got to give it another go. I've got to try again. And I got into it that time and immediately. Excellent. So I don't know.
I might give that a go then.
Worth a watch. Monarch on Apple TV's worth a watch. That's about Godzilla and that world of monsters. Monarch being the company that are chasing Godzilla, trying to harness all the.
Is there somebody quite famous in that?
Yeah, there's the Russells. So Wyatt Russell and Kurt Russell are in it.
Kurt Russell, I was thinking of,
Yeah. Who was also in, if you want another good Christmas film, Christmas Chronicles, which I watched.
That's a great one.
Night. Yeah.
That's one of the ones that my wife tolerates. So yeah, that's going to be on our TV this weekend.
Kurt Russell, though. So. An older one, but worth a watch because there's a new series coming early next year. Is SAS Rogue Heroes. I don't know how people outside the UK will watch it because it's on iPlayer. I do think you can get iPlayer outside the UK, can't you? No.
That's BBC thing. No.
Is it?
But it might be sold.
It might be on BBC America or the equivalent, whatever they do. But yeah, SAS Rogue Heroes. It's kind of the the fictional true story of the beginning of the
it's
SAS.
a drama. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a documentary or whatever.
But it's using real. The actors are playing the real people, but
gotcha.
It's
based on
bits
real
of it. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Gotta make it for TV.
Yeah.
Anything else for you, Rich?
I was just going to say, started watching Star Wars Skeleton Crew on Disney+.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of letting them
in. Loving it so far.
Is it good?
Okay, it's good. Great.
Yeah. It's got everything I like. It's the Goonies.
I'm very
and space adventures. So
okay, I'm very skeptical on Star Wars now. I need to get back into the zone.
I didn't watch the series before this one. I can't really remember what it was called.
Collide.
The live action one. Collide, yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
I saw really mixed reviews on that. So it was just like, and then they cancelled it. So it's just like.
There was good things and bad things about it. I didn't hate it as much as a lot of people did, but I thought there was some really cool stuff in it. But it's a shame it got cancelled. I'd have liked to have seen where it went.
I struggled with Andor as well. I know lots of people loved Andor, but I couldn't get through it.
Andor harder to watch.
I couldn't get through it.
I had a real love-hate relationship with it, and I got into the period of watching quite a few in a row, and then for some reason didn't watch the last one, so I got distracted, and still haven't gone back to it.
Yeah, that's when you know what's
that sums up my thing with Andor, I think.
Yeah, I think if you don't automatically go back to it, then
yeah.
Oh yeah, I found the first episode was like, get on with it.
Yeah. The first two I think was just so slow.
And then it peaked, and then it frittered out, and it was like, it was a waste of a couple.
But Series 2's coming out next year, isn't it? So
I'll give it a
go. They felt the need,
It was very popular. So.
There's also next year an Aliens TV series coming out as well.
Yes, so excited.
Which looks really good. Yeah, very excited about that.
That should be good, yeah. Peaked and frittered out, Mal. That sounds familiar. I watched because I've watched the Beatles documentary on Disney so many times. What's it called now again? Get Back, the Beatles documentary. There was a new one called Abbey Road, If These Walls Could Sing, and it's basically a documentary about Abbey Road, the studio. So it's not just the Beatles, it's like a lot of different things, but the Beatles is a focus on it. Really enjoyed it, thoroughly just cool if you like music and you're into that kind of stuff. It's just really well done. I think one of the, I can't remember, there's a lady that works there now that kind of seems to be, she's Linda McCartney's daughter, so Paul and Linda McCartney's daughter, she kind of runs it these days. And there was one thing I wanted to shout out. So Paul was out on the famous
Paul McCartney was there, and he must be 80 now or whatever, because it's fairly recently done. Still in great shape, and he was out on the zebra crossing where the famous picture is from, and he was kind of just talking about it and the idea he had with the photo, and that kind of it was just something they came up with off the cuff, and they decided to do, and it's still going now. And as he was kind of he was halfway out in the road, kind of talking about this guy in a Prius just kind of zips around him and nearly runs him over. And I'm like, that's bloody Paul McCartney there, and you're there with your Prius, and you're like running him off the road. Now, I know, like, you probably had somewhere to go, but I was like, come on, dude. So that kind of jolted me out of my seat. I was like, yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't have shown it, if it did happen. So,
yeah,
it was,
Paul
maybe
McCartney died today.
I'll be honest,
Jesus,
I really don't like the Beatles. If I'd realised it was Paul McCartney, I probably would have hit him.
Oh, Rich. Blasphemy. We'll have to move past that. I'm watching Bad Sisters on Apple as well. It's not quite as good as the first series, but it's getting better. The first episode or two was a struggle. No, it was good still, but it wasn't as good. But it's starting to, the madness is starting to return. So that's on Apple TV. And the last series of Outlander is on as well. Watching that with my wife, we've watched the whole lot of that. It's getting a bit, it needs to be over now, I think, Outlander. I still like it, but they separated again, and everything always goes wrong when the two of them are not in the same place together.
It's another one I couldn't get past the first few episodes. I just found it real hard work, so I ended up giving up on it.
It's good, but I think it's more, I mean, it is quite it's popular with women, really, because it is a little bit of a romance story mostly, although there is a lot of fighting and battling and kind of action as well. But I think the main thread of it is the love story between the two characters. So you have to be invested in that, and once you are, then that'll pull the rest of it along. But I do think they're probably getting out at the right time now, But I'm interested to see how the ending is, That'll be
how many series of that have they done, John?
I think this is 8.
8, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. About 13, 14 episodes. It's not the 20-odd episode series. It's like usually. And some of that, like the second season in Paris is really, really good. Really enjoyed that. And the first one in America was very good as well. But yeah, I think they peaked kind of in the middle and starting to,
right.
But really, really invested in the characters now. So just want to know what happens, and
yeah.
And a beautiful Irish lady playing an posh English woman. So
there you go.
They couldn't find an English actress, but she's great though. I mean, I understand why. They obviously they cast them based on the chemistry between the two main actors. Although I don't see how he had to be Scot, that was for sure. I don't think they could have got a non-Scottish person to play his role, but I think it's pretty easy to put on a generic English accent if you're from Ireland. I think that's not too hard. She does it very well. Yeah. Right. I think that's all I have. So what do you guys need to?
Another series that Kerry and I watched recently is on Netflix called A Man on the Inside.
Oh, that's popping up in my recommendations.
It's
I should watch.
It's just a really nice comedy. It stars. It's by the people that did. Was it A Nice Place or something like that?
The Good Place.
Good Place.
Yeah,
thank you. Yes.
Bonkers.
So the same people. Yeah. So the same people that did that, and it stars Ted Danson as a retired college professor whose wife passed away.
It's just the same role again for him, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. His wife passed away, and he's just at a loss of stuff to do. And then he sees an advert for somebody to go undercover in an old people's home because some jewelry's been stolen. So he goes along to that, and it's funny, it's heartwarming, it's just a really nice series.
Cool.
There's about 8-10 episodes, like shortish. Yeah, it's just
not
lovely,
too taxing.
really nice. Yeah. And then Holly and I are on Netflix watching, and it's an older series. And I don't normally watch anime stuff, but it's One Punch Man.
Oh, that's a pretty famous one, isn't it?
Watched it.
Yeah, which is bonkers. It's just, it's a superhero that just with one punch just destroys any bad guys.
Short action scenes, good for the animators, Just,
yeah, but it's balanced out by the fact that he just doesn't care. He's just like meh.
Oh,
his whole life is just meh.
So if he was maniacal after power, he'd easily get there, but he doesn't care. So
Yeah, like these villains are threatening him, and he's like, bang, and that's the end of it, sort of thing. But he's like got a couple of sidekicks, and they just get wound up because they're like, well, what did you do to get these? Because he's more powerful than anybody. What did you do to get all these amazing powers? And he's like, oh, I did like 100 press ups every day and ran 10 kilometers a day. And they were like, is that all? But it's turned him into this like insane superhero that can take on anybody. It's very good.
Rich becomes anime fan.
Oh no, this will
Your Legion's anime next year. Art, do the anime art.
That's it. We'll start to see a change in his art style, and it'll start to look more anime.
Yes, I think I'm good enough that I can swap forms, and people would realise. Yeah, absolutely.
You'd be getting copyright strikes in your art because it's too similar to anime that you've never heard.
Next thing you know, I'll be getting a little stylus for the mouse pad, and really going for it.
No, that's when it'll get too good.
You go crazy.
Are you going to graduate to Microsoft Paint? Oh my god! When Microsoft Paint is an upgrade, that's when you know you're winning. Cool. Any more recommendations, Mal, to shout out? No,
that's my list. Yeah, I'm sure there's loads of good stuff. But
one more. Then it's on Paramount Plus. It's Tulsa King.
Okay.
Sylvester Stallone, who's a mafia captain, so like proper high up mafia guy, who gets out of jail after 20-25 years in jail, and the mafia family don't want anything to do with him, so they just send him off from New York to Tulsa. The middle of nowhere, small city, Midwest city, nothing going on there, and he has to make do for him. So it's like a fish out of water sort of thing. But he's just scheming. He gets involved in a cannabis shop, because it's legal there, sort of thing, and it's just really well done. Sylvester Stallone's very good in it.
Cool.
There's 2 series out at the moment. I highly recommend that.
Oh, I got one more actually because we're watching it now, but I've only 3 episodes in. It's really good so far. So if it goes downhill after that, don't kill me. Black Doves on Netflix. With Keira Knightley, who's a beautiful lady and good actress.
Yes.
And
is that her? Is it Sarah Lancashire?
Yes, Sarah Lancashire. Ben Whishaw, the guy who plays Q in the modern James Bond.
Brilliant in this so far.
Fantastic. Yeah. So she's married. Keira Knightley's married to the minister or the defense secretary in the UK. So Minister of Defense, and she has a secret double life as a kind of an agent. So for a private security firm or something like this.
Sell the services to the highest bidder kind of firm.
And we also started to watch Slow Horses.
I've heard good things about that.
It's really good. It's a different vibe. It's with what's his name, plays Sirius Black in Harry Potter. Is
it Gary Oldman?
Gary Oldman, yeah. He's fantastic in it, and he runs the part of MI5 that they send everybody that's made a huge screw up. So the kind of bin, and basically they get all the crap jobs to kind of do, and it's basically. He's basically trying to get them to quit. Seems to be what the gig is there. But I'm sure I'm only a couple episodes into that as well.
Isn't it?
That's on Prime, yeah. That's where I got it. And it, it's really good so far. The first 10 minutes of it are amazing. Now it slows down a bit after that, but the first 10 minutes is really the intro to the show. Kind of really, really high paced and really good. So definitely worth the watch, I think. But what happened was we had a problem with the streaming service that was on, and then we ended up finding something else on Netflix, which was the Black Doves. So that's why we're watching 2 things kind of simultaneously. But I think Black Doves only has a couple, like 6 or 7 episodes, so we'll watch that to the end, and then we go back to Slow Horses because that has plenty of episodes, a couple of seasons. So anyway, all fun and games. So there's plenty of stuff for you to get stuck into over the holidays if you've got some time off. So I think we leave it there, will we?
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
Next week, we have the awards, Eurolegions awards. So top 5s, 10s, 15s, 25s.
Absolutely
from
no
Al.
prizes to give out, but recognition.
Can I check? Are we doing a black tie event this year as well, just so I can dress appropriately?
Do you have a black tie?
No.
No.
But you know, I could find one.
We could eat and drink whilst we do the podcast. That'd be a new experience for the listeners.
Yeah.
Sit quaffing prosecco while we do it. Like, way!
I have my kids, both my kids' parent-teacher meetings tomorrow, which they insist on bringing the kids. We have to bring the kids to the parent-teacher meeting. Never heard of such rubbish. The school is hopeless. So I was thinking of dressing up in a kind of full suit just for that, for the crack, to make them think I'm more important than I am. But yeah, my daughter is making them do it in English. I can do it in Luxembourgish, but she's like, no, I want to do it in English because I prefer to do it in English, and I'm using you as an excuse. And I'm like, okay, and I want to make my teacher speak English. Gotta love her. Anyway, better press the outro, otherwise we never get done.
Stay safe out there, everybody. Don't dig up any demonic Santas.
With demon wanks.